Hello, bookworms, bibliophiles, and lovers of all things literature, and welcome to the next chapter of the Braless Book Guild podcast, where we discard our bras and get graphic to talk about books both published and unpublished. We are your hosts. I'm Jenna. This is Marissa.
Hello.
And Megan.
Hi.
And as always, before we get started, let's talk about what we're drinking. Megan, what are you drinking?
What was it called?
Amina's blend?
Amina's Blend of Fortune, I think it was.
Yes.
It was an owl crate. It was, what was it, mango pineapple?
Yeah. It was like a black Ceylon, decaf Ceylon.
Yeah, decaf.
And with mango and pineapple and...
It's refreshing.
Yeah. Very tropical.
Even though it rained this morning and I had like 3 cups of hot tea, when I got here, which is like 15 degrees hotter than my area, I was like, I want ice.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it was rainy this morning, and I was like, yes, it is rainy and overcast, and I drank 3 cups of coffee because I got no sleep and had 2 children today, so...
You needed it.
I don't usually do that much caffeine, but it was important today.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's a good day for hot coffee.
Oops, my bad.
I'd ask Marissa what she's drinking, but she's just drinking...
What am I drinking?
She's drinking the iced version of what I'm drinking, which is the ginger honeycomb from our local tea shop. And it's a really nice herby ginger blend with like a sweet, a sweetness to it already.
I made the mistake if I said I wanted that one because I read what was in it and I was like, oh, look, like apple and blackberry. And that is very much secondary and hidden in there.
It is very ginger.
It is very ginger. It is very honey.
Yes.
Is it as gingery as that one drink I had when I brought the thing? Because that was just
was just straight ginger.
Straight up blended ginger right on your tongue.
No, this is ginger and honey.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a really nice one. It's one of my favorite sick time teas, and I'm not even sick, but it's just like one of my favorite sick time teas because it's like really soothing and refreshing and like good iced or hot. I have it hot today.
I like the yuzu.
Yeah.
The yuzu.
The yuzu.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
my favorite for sick time teas. And Constant Comment with a buttload of honey in it.
Oh yeah, all the honey. All the honey.
Yeah.
But anyway, we are going to be talking today not about graphic in the way many of you are probably thinking novels.
Don't get too excited.
But actual picture graphic novels and manga. And it's going to be interesting because I'm hosting and I probably have read the least amount of graphic novels of all of us. And I was like, I am not awake. My brain is not functioning today. So I'm just going to be sitting back and listening to you guys talk. But then you guys are like, hey, host.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, great.
You did bring up one that I was going to bring up, which was The Devil Does Exist. I don't know who the author of that is. Jenna.
It's a manga. I don't know. That's one of the last mangas I think I actually read, and it's probably one of the only ones that I actually read the whole series of.
Which, by the way, so it was so long ago that I read that because that was one of it was Tsubasa and that one that Angela gave us. And
Angela
gave
you
I think Kathy gave us that one.
gave us.
Okay.
Angela gave us
Okay.
Tsubasa, and Kathy gave us.
And I was like 10.
Yeah,
10 or
it was not
11.
appropriate for Marissa. It
It was fine.
was fine.
But it was one of those I didn't I didn't read manga really, and so I read those. And to be honest, those would not be the type of mangas I would read in the first place. But I did read them. But I couldn't remember because it was so long ago that I remember trying to look them up, and I couldn't remember their names or anything. I was like, one of them had something to do with the devil, so I kept trying to look it up, and it was like, the devil is a part-timer, and I'm like, no, that's not the right one.
I did the same thing. I didn't remember the name of it, and then you said it, and I remember having looked it up before in the past and being like, sister in love with her stepbrother, and I was like, oh wow, there's a lot of these. And I was like, something about the devil, and it's like, wait, I'm coming up with a lot of things that are not at all the book that I was thinking.
I just remember too that he played basketball, and I think that's why it was partly given to me because I was playing basketball at the time.
So what was the devil part?
Oh,
Was it
they butted heads. He was the devil to
He's
her.
the
'cause
devil.
He was so mean, and she fell
Loved
in love
him.
with him. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. That I definitely, I don't think I've read manga since high school.
I remember she was in love with another dude and she wrote like a love letter or whatever.
Oh,
and he found
teased
it
her
and
for
he
it.
like blackmailed her and stuff.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I haven't read a lot of graphic novels since high school. Definitely not any manga. Marissa, we lived together and it was funny because like we had a bookshelf full of books, and then Marissa has all the Buffy comics.
I do.
Oh, yeah.
And they're huge, and it like doesn't just fit on a bookshelf normally. And so those were like our coffee table books. We had the, everyone has your books on your coffee table. Ours were Buffy comics.
That's actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
Were there a lot?
I don't know if it's still going or not. But it was a continuate. Like it was season 8 of, or no, not 8, because season 8 of Buffy. So basically, it was the continuation of the show. So they did another season, but they did it in comic book form.
Yeah.
Which it was fine.
Was it like an episode per comic book, or was it like a volume where you got?
Well, I ended up buying the volume.
Okay,
because it did come out like comic book style and everything, but I was much later to it, so I ended up just buying like the big volumes. So I've got like 3 big volumes of them. That's how I was like, Buffy's kind of gay because she has a fling with a girl in the comic books.
Well, I mean, Buffy, look, Eliza Dushku, she made me think, like, question my
Faith
sexuality.
Faith should be, though.
Faith should be gay. But now she's a therapist, so it's fine.
Yeah. I guess something I read about Buffy is, like, they set it up for the potential of all of the characters being gay.
Oh, okay.
Because they all had, like, little moments, and they knew, supposedly Joss Whedon knew he wanted there to be gay representation in it, but, like, didn't want to throw it in right away.
Yeah.
So he kind of set it up for all of them to have the potential of going that route. So, like, Xander has those moments where he's, like, with the swim team and stuff like that, there's those awkward moments with them, and it's like, maybe, but he also plays it off of, like, I like girls a lot. And Buffy has her moments. Obviously, Willow.
Yeah.
So
is that considered queer baiting, or is that, like, the potential? Is that different?
That's a good question.
I don't queer baiting, but you might actually get your catch.
Yeah,
right.
It's queer baiting, but it's just dangling it in front of you, and you might get something.
Yeah.
I think it was because it was such a new time that, like, I don't know if that would be considered queer baiting. I think that was just giving you crumbs to
okay.
actually, like, latch onto.
Okay.
It makes it so. The funny thing is for me right now, my life revolves around Spider-Man because my kid. So like, I went to a comic book store and got my son Spider-Man. But it makes me think of the comic books of Spider-Man. I'm like, oh, these are all the different universes. An AU Buffy, Xander was gay. And an AU Buffy, Buffy was gay. In an AU Buffy, all of them were gay.
I thought you were going along the lines of, there's one that Spider-Man was gay. And I was like, with who?
With who?
I'm sure there is. Actually, the big ship for Spider-Man is Deadpool, or not? Deadpool.
Oh, Deadpool, right?
Yeah. 'Cause they have a lot of banter and chemistry with each other when they team up.
Because there was even a show that Deadpool showed up on, a Spider-Man show,
Probably.
and they had pretty good banter. It was pretty funny. I saw
I'm
just
sure.
screen grabs of it.
I know there's a lot of in the comics. There's a whole comic like series that they have together.
Yeah.
That they
Listen, Deadpool, I think, is just one of the best characters ever, because there's one where people were talking about how Hawkeye was deaf and how he would, like, lift his mask and speak so that way Hawkeye could hear. And I'm just like, this guy, he's so good.
Yep.
Yeah. Deadpool is fun.
Deadpool is fun. I'm gonna take it back now, y'all. One hop this time. You guys mentioned Tsubasa. Tsubasa was my first ever manga, because I remember Angela, when we had advanced English class sophomore year, I had just gotten back into, or not back into, but I was like really into drawing at the time. And Angela had drawn a picture, like a very, very, like, I can still remember the way it's drawn today, of Sharon and Sakura together. And it was like, she was crying. And I remember seeing that for the first time. I was like, wow, that's absolutely gorgeous. Because she had colored it.
Right.
It was absolutely gorgeous. And I was like, that's so gorgeous. She's like, I have the books. Do you want to try reading the books? And I will say, and I'm sure every white person out there has experienced this. When you read a manga for the first time and it's back to front for us.
Oh,
so
yeah.
reading right to left instead of left to right like us Americans do. It was real hard. That first book was so hard to read, but it was so gorgeous. I loved the art. I love anything that Clamp does. I think all of their stuff is absolutely gorgeous. So that was my very first one, and I never finished it.
I never finished it either. I very curious, but also not curious enough, and I didn't I wouldn't like it anymore. But I didn't finish it. I didn't finish a lot of mangas that I started
Same.
at that time.
Yeah.
But I also was reading a lot of mangas I probably shouldn't have been reading at that time.
Yeah.
Because I was like 10, 11 years old, and I was reading like Hellsing, which is amazing, and I love that. But I'm like, man, this probably is not for 10-year-olds.
You know that meme of "this is where my lore started"? Do you think that was probably it? all those graphic, dark mangas.
Maybe, because I also read Death Note. I read Death Note because I started the show.
Right.
And I was like, I didn't know how this ends, so I read the manga.
You're like, I don't want
This
to wait.
is the story of Marissa's life. I need to know how this ends, so I read the graphic novel.
Yes, exactly. That's what I read graphic novels for, is to know how it ends.
Yeah.
Or you're like, I didn't like that ending. Go to AO3 or fanfiction.net. Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. That was
I
exactly.
think my first anime and manga was Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh,
Because
really?
Justin
Okay.
was obsessed with it.
Of course.
So yeah, I ended up watching that, and then I'm a story person, so if I get hooked on a story, I just need to know where it's going, and that was definitely one of those ones where I definitely got hooked on the story, and I had to know what happened.
Well, the hard part for that was that Full Metal Alchemist, the anime, like the
Yes,
original one,
it went different.
is different than the manga because it did the Game of Thrones thing where it's all like, we surpassed the manga and now we're just gonna make things up.
Yep.
And the problem is, I liked that story because that's what I started with.
Yep.
So watching Brotherhood, I didn't read the manga, I didn't read the manga, but watching Brotherhood, I'm like, this is good, I guess.
Okay. I'm literally doing that right now. So I've been ever so slowly watching Brotherhood, and please don't cancel me. Please don't cancel me. I am so bored. And everyone's like, everything's so important. And there's like a lot of characters that I'm just like, I do not like these characters. I do not like them. And I also, because I even asked Hannah about this, because Brotherhood is her all-time favorite show. All time. Animes, any show, it's her all-time favorite.
A lot of anime manga say Brotherhood is one of the best.
But why is it so boring?
It's not if you didn't start with the other one.
Right. So what I liked about the other one, and what I really remember, is we got to see Ed's like first trial to become an alchemist. And that was like the starting point of his antagonism with Mustang. And to me, that was important character building.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was in the manga because I never read the manga, but that's not in Brotherhood because Brotherhood just sticks to the now and has like a couple flashbacks, but doesn't actually talk about like how it doesn't show how he got his pocket watch to become an alchemist. And so again, I'm over here just like, but that's like important characterization. It actually shows you, because otherwise you don't know why they hate each other or are, bickering with each other.
Animosity between them.
I don't care either way. Riza Hawkeye is the best in
She
both
is.
of them.
She's the goat.
1000%.
I 100% agree. In either anime manga, she is the best. Yes.
I will not spoil it, but did you see Riza versus Envy yet?
I've seen at least one fight of it.
Yeah. The one where she said, I lied.
Yes. Okay. Yes. I think I just got to that.
About,
But also the last time I watched it was like over a month ago.
yeah.
So I mostly just have it on in the background while I'm like crocheting or doing something else or a puzzle.
That line when she says, I lied, it was like the most cool thing that I've ever seen. Trying not to curse right now.
She's so good. She's so good. So that's like interesting that, we grew up, I don't want to say grew up, but that Full Metal Alchemist was like, and I will say Vic Mignogna, who was the voice of Ed, was like probably top like voice actor at that time. I don't think he is anymore. I think he got canceled.
Yeah.
Oh snap. Should I not bring him up anymore?
No, it's fine. You can talk, because he has a big impact in anime and
he does.
Funimation, but I do know he got canceled because he did a voice in Ruby and they recast him.
Oh snap. Okay. Well, I still need to get to Ruby.
I need you to watch Ruby.
I'll watch Ruby. I'll watch it.
I love it because I'm watching this one person react, and she's almost done. She's almost all caught up. But she got her girlfriend to start reacting to it now, so it's like I'm watching her react, and
then
I'm
you're
going
like, "Don't
back.
worry, we get more."
Yeah, I go back and watch her girlfriend react.
That's so cute. I love that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Ruby is on my list for sure. But I'm in the middle of Penny Dreadful right now, which I feel like Penny Dreadful should be a comic. I don't know if it is or not. It feels very comic booky to me.
Probably.
But also, I'm thinking it has very much League of Extraordinary Gentlemen vibes to me, and that is 100% a comic. So I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So Tsubasa was my first. But to get onto the topic of like books we definitely should not have read as high school students, for me it was Hot Gimmick. Did you ever read Hot Gimmick?
No.
That was the one where it was very much a bully romance, but to the point that like it made no sense for her to fall in love with him because he didn't have any redeeming qualities. He was just a complete jerk. And also, the second she turned 18, he's like, "We're getting married and you don't have a choice." And her dad's like, "I want her to go to college and live." And he's like, "No, she's mine and we're getting married." And she's like, "Okay." And I was just like, and I remember being obsessed with them.
Yep.
But I remember the second I finished it, I like had this moment of realization of like, this is so toxic.
Mm-hmm.
We should not, like, this is not a romance that we want to
Like,
be reading about.
Every straight girl has gone through that where we read a romance. Where, I must know what happened. I love them so much. There you go.
Oof.
Wow, that was bad.
That was really bad.
But look, the fun of that is that you don't have to deal with all of the fallout the character did.
Yeah, exactly.
You can watch all the drama, but you don't actually have to carry their baggage.
Well, we talked about how like a lot of it is step sibling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I got a lot of when I was trying to look up like Yuri or anything, and it was all like Citrus, where it's her stepsister or not? Yeah, her stepsister, and then there was another one that was called like Living with My Brother's Wife, and it's literally like her brother's dead, and it's like her and her sister-in-law like trying to cope with his death, and then like having this weird connection together. Like
That sounds like fried green tomatoes.
no.
But it wasn't
they
the
were
wife. But it was like
But yeah, I mean, yeah, kind
it
of.
was her brother's girlfriend.
It's true. But yeah, that's like that's a lot of what you get when you're trying to. I just want to find something that has a woman that likes a woman, and
Yeah.
it's just not. You're not gonna find it.
But I feel like there's also just so many, like, I'll just LGBT like storylines out there because, and I don't know if this is just Kathy projecting and making everyone gay, or
Probably.
if it what
Probably.
or if like, because I just remember thinking there was a lot out there. She did read a lot of yaoi.
Yeah.
I never really got
I
into
think
yaoi.
there's a lot of yaoi out there.
Yeah. And it just felt so to me, I was just like, dang, they're so progressive. They're not progressive. Japan's not progressive. Actually, I don't know anymore. They might be. But I don't know if gay marriage is legal over there.
The hard part is like yaoi appeals to straight women. So you get the gay men and the straight women that like it, and so it's more popular than Yuri, which basically only appeals to women who
Oh,
like
dudes.
women. Well, and dudes that, but then you'll get the over the top Yuri.
Oh, okay,
that one.
okay.
So you're not gonna,
You're not getting a good story.
yeah.
I mean, I feel like a lot of manga, especially the manga that we grew up with, still pandered to men. Because I remember one of my favorites, Chrono Crusade, the anime for that one. The manga was beautiful, absolutely amazing. I just reread them a couple years ago and they're so good. But the anime, the first time you see Rosette, I think her name was, she like stands up and her boobs jiggle so much.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
for sure.
And I just remember, oh, and Love Hina.
Yep.
Do you remember Love Hina? That
I
was
remember it, but I don't remember it, you know?
what's the harem? It's harem is one guy, many girls, right?
Yeah, it's-
Reverse
yeah.
harem is one girl, many guys.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It was definitely a harem manga. And there's a lot of those. I remember there's a lot of harem. I mean, we're in high school host club is basically reverse harem, but
yes.
High School Host Club.
but without the romance aspect. I mean, there's romance in it, but it's not like
That's
the
not the-
forefront. Where
yeah.
Love Hina was 100%.
Yeah.
Who was this girl that he remembers from his childhood? It could either be this person or this person.
There's a guy reacting to Oran High School Host Club only on his Patreon right now. And I signed up for like the first episode. I'm like, I don't like it enough to keep paying you. But it was so funny because he knows nothing about it. So he watched the first episode knowing nothing. And that first episode's everybody figuring out, spoiler for Urban High School Host Club if you don't know, that the main character is a girl.
Yeah.
And he gets to the end and he's like, when was this made? Because she literally says, like, they're like, you're a girl? And she's like, well, biologically speaking. And
Yeah.
he's like, wait, what? They're trans? They're
Yeah.
gender non-conforming? And I was just like, well, wait till you meet her dad.
Yeah, we didn't have any of that. Like, that wasn't really back in our day, I should say.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, I would say knowledgeable.
20 years ago when we were all watching it.
Right. But it was still so fun. It's such a fun one.
Yeah. I mean, but that's like, that was the big thing for him. He's like, this is way ahead of its time, too, though.
Yeah.
Like, because they overplay it in a funny way to make fun of, like, gender norms and, like, stuff like that. And, like, basically make fun of romance animes and mangas.
Yeah.
So I think it was just way ahead of its time.
I also just love Tamaki and how when they put her in a dress, he just like dies. Oh my gosh. We could talk about that one. We could have a whole episode on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was such a fun one. One that I liked that actually had a lot of, and it was actually a recent one that I read that had a lot of representation in it was A Silent Voice. And the main character of that one, she's deaf.
Oh.
And the anime, it came out with a movie, and what was her name? I don't remember her name. The movie was so beautiful, and and that's like the manga that I wasn't on my honeymoon. Oh no, it was when my husband and I were in Okinawa, and I had just met Hannah at that time, and she had given me a recommendation of a manga, and she's like, I really want you to read this one. So I found, like, I don't know, manga online or whatever. And I started reading that when we were on vacation. And it's very short. I think it's only like 4 or 5 books. And I read it while we were on vacation, just as like we're going to bed at night. And I sobbed so hard. It's like a beautiful but also heartbreaking manga. So I definitely recommend that one.
Which one?
A Silent Voice. It's very quick. There's also a movie. Okay. The movie's also very good. But there are some trigger warnings for it. So maybe look those up before you go into it. But that one's really good, and I liked the representation. And I think that was my most recent, out of like rereads, outside of rereads, new manga that I read. So that was back in 2017.
When I was looking up like manga and stuff like that for me to read that had like a female like Yuri, or didn't even have to necessarily be Yuri, but with 2 women, I went into a deep dive of like, you know, definitely illegal websites of watching or reading like free stuff that you couldn't get over here.
We would never.
Never. Hey, look, I tried to find the legitimate way to get it,
Right.
and it was so complicated. But one of them was Korean, and it's called Miss Angel and Miss Devil. And it's basically like in a land of angels and devils in the heavens and the hells and stuff like that. The reason why I liked it, there was one that was an established relationship of an angel and a devil, and then there was the one that it was like they like each other, but they're like not together, and they had that tension thing going on, and it was just really funny and goofy and like had really fun dynamics with it.
Yeah.
I was like, I really like this. And then one, I felt guilty about, you know, not legally finding it and getting it properly. And 2, it was very difficult to start finding the actual translations of it as it got further and further along. So I never got to finish it. And I don't even know if it's finished.
Just learn Korean and I'll get you the manga from Korea.
There we go.
That'll be easy. I actually have 2 sets of manga from Korea. So, long story.
Yes.
Prepare yourselves. When I was in high school, my brother moved down to LA for work, and my brother's job was, same as every male in my family, elevator and escalator fixing, like repair stuff. And he worked in the same building that had Tokyo Pop, which was like one of the biggest manga distributors of like our generation. I don't know if they're around anymore. I know they kind of went bankrupt. But he was working in the same building, and he like took a picture. He was like, does this mean anything to you? And I was like, oh my God, yes. And so when for like Christmas one year, he like went up to them and was just like, hey, my sister really likes manga. Do you have anything that I can just like give her? And they're like, yeah, come back in an hour. And he got me 3 boxes of manga that were like, I will say a lot of them were like number 17.
Yeah.
Or like anything where the pages were like accidentally like glued together or something. So they were just like the throwaway ones.
Yeah.
But I found some really good series from that. Like there's even series like I didn't know that Escaflowne had a manga, and I got some Escaflowne. There was, what was that one movie where they went to the island and they had to kill each other? It was the high school kids.
Battle Royale.
Oh,
Battle Royale. I had
the
like
original Hunger Games.
Yeah.
the original Squid Games. Yeah.
Dude,
I had-
Battle Royale was such a good movie.
It was such a good movie. We should rewatch it.
Next
But
cabin trip.
I got like number 6 and number 12 and number 13 of those. So I got a lot of things. And one of them was a Korean one called Nabi, the prototype. And Nabi means butterfly. And that one was like a tester where they wanted to see if people would read it. And I don't think it did well, so they never published it. And I was just like, I want to know. So I went and I bought 24 of the Korean versions of them. And they're on my shelves. And I have not finished reading them. They're hard.
I do wish I could read like Korean, so I could have read the comic book, because some of the translation was really bad.
Yeah.
And it was like really hard because you could tell it was like either somebody who was Korean learning English translating it, or just like maybe like AI or something like that, because it was like the translation would be really bad. Or like one of the characters' name is Hockey, Haki.
Yeah.
And there would be times they'd spell it hockey, like the sport.
Oh.
Just randomly. And I'm like, that's not wrong, but it's wrong.
the word for hockey is hockey in Korean. So
but it's like when you'd read two of them that were the same thing, or they'd like repeat themselves or something, and it'd be like, I don't think that's how that was meant to be.
Yeah. When I was trying to read Harry Potter in Korean, and this is when I like first got there, and I was like, I'm gonna be fluent and read all these books. When it hit like the first part where it talked about Dursley, I had to like look up the word. What does that mean? And it kept coming up as Dursley, and I'm like, no, it's not going to talk about the Dursleys yet. And then I was like, oh wait, because the first line is what? There's something the Dursleys of 34 Privet Drive or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, this is gonna suck, because translating specific nouns, like proper nouns, into a different language is tough. Anyway, but yeah. It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah. I can't even imagine.
Yeah. Do you remember any other manga that you read in high school?
You know, it's funny because I forgot about half of them, and then you guys would name it. Oh, yeah, that one. Oh, yeah, that one. Oh, yeah, that one. It's been 20 years, and my brain's fried.
D and Angel. Did you ever read D and Angel?
Yeah, I did read that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one never finished. It was never finished published. At least not in America. So that was one I would go online to be like, someone please give me the translations because I need to know.
Yep.
If I could go back in time and walk through like one of our friends' bedrooms, I could be like, oh, I read that one. I read that one. I read that one. But I can't remember off the top of my head.
We also got Fruits Basket.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one.
There's also the trouble of like, I like manga and I like comic books, but actually having them on my shelf takes up so much room.
Yeah.
So that is where I like, like webtoons.
Right.
It doesn't take up room. I could just read it. I have it in my phone. So I do have like a few of them on my Kindle app that I've been doing on that, just to not have to have like a huge collection.
Right.
That's what Jelani and I were talking about when we went to the comic book store and we got Elias comics, and we were like, Jelani's like, these are only $4. And I was like, and you read them in 10 seconds.
Yep.
Like,
yep.
That is manga. Yeah, I'm buying it for the price of a book, but I read it in less than a day.
Yeah, comic books come out as chapters, not as books.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's why when we had Borders, RAP Borders, we would literally just go and sit
and read,
and read there, because I mean we could probably even do that now. I mean the manga section at our local Barnes & Noble is massive.
Is it?
Bigger than I mean it wraps around our YA section.
Oh wow.
Those 3 shelves that are YA, the manga goes like from here to boop 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 there. And then like the contemporaries on that side. Anyway, I like everyone can see my hand.
Yeah,
my hand motion
over here and there and
yeah. Just imagine. But yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen people sit on the floor there. I mean, they have seating.
They
sort of.
Seating.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yeah, Barnes & Noble. Yeah, I've seen people sit down.
I've
sat down. I haven't like sat down to fully read something, but like I've sat down to start reading.
Yeah.
To see if I like something.
Just like on the floor or in the like seated area where they have the benches by the cookbooks?
Mostly on the floor when I'm starting,
Okay.
because I'm not going to go walk over there to go sit down to read a book and be like, I wonder if I like this book. So I sat down for a second.
Yeah.
That's just me being lazy.
Yeah.
They have a couple different other little areas have like just like one random bench, or they used to. I
Yeah.
don't know if they have it still. Where you'd find like one little seat right here or one little, and it's like you could sit down and read right there, but I don't see. I mean, usually I see people doing that when they have like kids or their significant others looking, and they're like, "I'm just gonna sit here on my phone."
Right. That's what Hunzep does whenever he comes with me.
He's like, "I'll
He's
sit
like,
here and
okay. I also don't pay attention to people because I'm on a mission when I go to Barnes and Noble. I have my list, and then I'm like, okay, but also we could do this. But yeah,
my husband's a people watcher,
oh,
hardcore.
by our powers combined, we could have a lot of fun in Barnes and Noble.
Oh yeah,
I was just thinking about how we haven't had a like we used to do when I first got here. We haven't had a let's go to Barnes and Noble and have a lunch date.
yeah. We should do that soon.
Yeah, we haven't done that in a hot second. But anyway, going to graphic novels. You have the Buffy. I have Firefly.
I actually, I need to read Firefly. I didn't do that one. I should have, but I think the thing is they had the movie Serenity, and I was like, that gave me enough of a closure for it.
Yeah, they have like post Serenity stories and stuff, which I've enjoyed. But it's also hard because Wash was one of my favorite characters, so it's like, what's the point?
Yeah.
So it was part of, and then one of them is called Leaves on the Wind, and I'm just like, how dare you? How dare you?
Means nothing to me.
It means
I know.
nothing. Oh, Jenna.
Means
She
nothing.
doesn't know.
Oh,
I know
Jenna.
nothing.
That's okay.
One day I'll know.
I like what was I gonna say? It was kind of a similar thing though with Angel, where it's like the Buffy universe continued after Buffy with Angel. Like
Right.
it did side by side, and then Angel kept going for like a season or two. And even, I mean, spoiler alert because it's a very weird way that it ends, but Spike is an Angel after.
Okay.
And so it's like there's supposed to be like more to the story there, but I didn't get into Angel, so I didn't watch it.
And did you? I'm pretty sure they have comic books and novels and stuff of Angel as well, right? Okay.
I'm pretty sure they do. But once again, I didn't like Angel.
Yeah.
So I was not the dark and broody one.
You know what I want? Did you ever watch Dollhouse? His other stuff,
Yes.
Dollhouse. Season 1 of Dollhouse was one of the best, and then season 2 made absolutely no sense to me. So I want an in between of what the heck happened, how we got from season 1 to season 2. Like I get it, Alpha, but whatever. But I want like comic books of that because that was such a cool show and like such an amazing concept that I feel like we didn't get enough of.
I think it's really interesting because some of the reactors that I watched, they reacted to Buffy, and now they're doing Dollhouse.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And it's so interesting to watch it in a different mindset now because from when I watched it back then, even though like, yes, super controversial, the idea of Dollhouse and everything.
Yeah.
But it's like, even now you're sitting there like, this is so messed up. Why are you rooting for these people?
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Because back then I was like, yeah, these are the good guys. They're saving the world, right?
Yeah.
Sort of.
No, it's
Oh,
all human
gosh.
trafficking.
You're right.
Like, the FBI agent was super correct in all of this. It is all messed up, whether or not it is voluntary or not.
So Alpha was right. Interesting. You're gonna have to like send me these people because I actually want to watch it now because I want to see how, 20 years later,
Yeah.
15 years later, Megan thinks.
Yeah. Just rewatch Dollhouse 15 years later. And you'll sit there and you'll be
Okay.
like,
I have too much stuff. I gotta watch Ruby.
Look, the amount of
watch
things.
Ruby. Don't worry about Dollhouse. Watch Ruby.
The amount of things that I watch nowadays that I go, this did not age well.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh boy, this is problematic.
They talk about that with Buffy.
Yeah.
Like, so people that watch Buffy, like, even though he is annoying, people did find Xander to be like, okay, he's still like the best friend and everything like that, and he has redeeming qualities. But if like a teenager today is watching Buffy, they go, am I supposed to like this guy? Because I
Oh.
hate him. And the answer is yes and no. Like, Joss Whedon wants you to like him because he's Joss Whedon's self-insert character.
Really?
Oh.
Okay.
And now knowing about Joss Whedon, you're like, nope, you're not supposed to like him.
Interesting. Oh, that's so interesting. Oh my gosh. Time changes is weird.
Yes.
And how brain changes over the course of your life is also weird.
Yep.
Because I loved Sayuki the manga. I think I talked about this during our LGBT episode, I think. Sayuki, that was the one where it was the Monkey King, and maybe you watched it or read it.
That's
It was
possible.
my favorite. That was one I actually got into because I was looking up the voice actors of Dee and Angel, and I was like, what else have they been in? And there's like, Sayuki keeps coming up. Maybe I'll just watch it or read it. And I read it, and that's the one where, as a high schooler, I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then they talked about like the Bodhisattva is like a hermaphrodite. And I was like, yeah, progressive. And then rereading the stories now, it's like this entire story is all incest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like they are in love with their sister, and or like his mom is obsessed with him. And I was just like, oh my God, why was I reading this at 16? Man.
So as I say, along the lines of like finishing stories and continuing stories, I do recommend Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes.
Reading those ones, you get a lot of really good stuff out of that. I semi-recommend Legend of Korra
Yeah.
because I think Legend of Korra continued to give us the queer relationship.
Yeah. That it ended with that you're
Yeah.
just kind of like, wait, that's all we get?
Yeah, so I think that's why they made the comic to continue that.
Okay.
And there are like a couple of cool, like, you know, political stuff that they talk about that I'm like, okay. But I think the show like far surpassed the
Oh,
comic.
okay.
Like the
Yeah.
show was much better as far as its messages and everything goes.
Yeah.
Where the comic, I'm like, all right, it's okay. Where in Avatar, yes, I think the show is better, but I think the comic just added to it. Plus, comic, you learned what happened to Zuko's mom.
Are you excited for the movie that they're making? They're making an adult adult Aang movie.
I did not know that.
Hey, guess what? They're making an adult Aang movie, and I just saw the cast list that they had, and one of the guy who does Aang, he is going to be voiced by Eric Nam, who is a K-pop idol.
Oh.
And he is hilarious. He is very funny. He's American or Canadian.
I wonder if they're gonna have what's her face who voiced Toph do it because she's been pretty popular on
Oh.
TikTok lately.
Honestly, that would be cool.
She talks a lot about like because she was 12.
Yeah.
She recorded, so like her voice for Toph was just her voice.
Yeah.
So like now she's like 28, and people are like, "Can you do like a Toph line for me?"
She's
And
like,
she's like,
"No."
"I have to try to think of how I sounded when I was 12 years old."
But if she were to do an adult Toph, she could just
Yeah.
do her regular voice.
Yeah.
Ooh, I
She
should
did.
look that up.
She did voice in a flashback one of Toph's daughters.
Oh, that's
in
cool.
Korra.
I'm looking up movie.
It's funny because Courtney's daughters, my friend's daughters, who are 11 and 10, I want to say, they're into graphic novels and stuff like that. And so they're talking to me about their graphic novels or bringing them over, and I just get really excited because it's a book, so I don't care. Just
Yeah.
as long as you're reading, I'm happy. But it's so funny because I like look at them and I'm like, oh, you were my sister's age when I gave her things that I really don't want you guys reading. Things that change now. My life. The way I look at things. But yeah.
And I grew up with older siblings though, so I already
Yeah.
knew some stuff and was desensitized to some things. Not like in a bad way, but just I think I was more mature mentally than a lot
Yeah.
of other people, so it was like whatever. Like I remember when Sweeney Todd came out,
Oh yeah.
and mom and dad wouldn't let me watch Sweeney Todd
Yeah.
because I was too young. And so, but Jake loved it. And so Jake would tell me all about it. And then he was like, do you mind if I spoil it for you? I'm like, well, I'm not allowed to watch it anyways. So go ahead and spoil it for me. So he told me how it ended.
Yeah.
So I knew how it ended before I even watched it. But then, like, I
Defeats
watched
the
it.
purpose of
Well, I watched it. And I'm like, it really wasn't that bad.
right. But it defeats the purpose of her trying to keep you sheltered when you know all about it.
Sweeney Todd, though, like the movie was like the blood looked like wax. It didn't even look like
and
real.
That's what I was like when I finally watched it. I'm like, it really wasn't bad.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, though. Is like if the point of it is to keep you sheltered and like don't see these creepy weird things about cannibalism, being told the story is just as bad because the movie's not that graphic. The funny thing is you and Jake are both like horror movie people, and I'm not.
Yeah.
So it's like I love Sweeney Todd. That's not horror to me.
That's a musical. It
Yeah,
doesn't
it's a
count.
musical. It doesn't count. But
Like Repo the Genetic Opera. It doesn't count.
it doesn't count. But yeah, so it's funny because it's like you guys were the ones that even when you were younger, you'd be like, "I'm watching this twisted horror movie," and I'm like, "No, thank you. Like, I want nothing to do with that." And I'm an adult.
Yeah. Well, you came by the other day, and I was watching Until Dawn.
I was like,
It's like, no, well, I gotta turn this off because Elias is here.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't super scary movie, but it definitely was not something he needed to watch.
I was watching Pride and Prejudice when my sister-in-law and nephew came over last week, and he's also obsessed with Spider-Man, and I was just like, he's not gonna want to watch Pride and Prejudice. 2005 version, not 1995. Maybe he'd like 1995. I don't know. Start him young.
yeah.
That's why that was my first thought when you got the comic books for Elias. You're like, we got him Spider-Man comics. I was like, yeah, start him young.
Start him young. He gets excited. He's like opening it up and reading it.
Are
He
you
has
worried
no
that he's
idea
gonna tear the pages?
Oh, he's already tore like
Oh,
them
okay.
out. But
They
it
were
is
$4.
what it is.
He's a
They're
toddler.
$4.
Yeah.
Yeah. He hasn't like ripped them, but he's accidentally he goes, "Uh-oh, mama." And I was like, "Look, dude, it's fine."
Well, then what you do is you rearrange them, and
There
he has
you
a
go.
whole new story.
Whole new story.
Won't make sense,
Nope.
but that's okay.
Barely makes sense anyway because he doesn't have the one before. He doesn't have the one
right.
after, so
Right,
he doesn't
that's
know what's
all-
happening.
That's also the issue. In our high school, we had this whole thing about: are you a pirate
Oh
or
yeah,
are you a
Yeah.
ninja?
One Piece.
Remember that.
And yeah, One Piece or Naruto.
Yeah.
And then Bleach was just kind of like there, I guess.
Yeah.
I was definitely a ninja.
Yeah.
What were you, Jenna?
Oh, I didn't read either.
I didn't read any. I mean, I only read
No.
Naruto, but even then I was just like, I'm definitely a ninja.
Yeah, I don't think I think that it changed every single time someone asked me because
Oh,
I
okay.
thought that at that point I was messing with everyone.
There
being
you go.
like, one person would ask me like, "Are you a ninja or a pirate?" I'd be like, "Ninja," and they'd ask again about pirate, and it's like,
And I'd be like, no, she told me she was a ninja.
yeah, I was like, but I didn't know. I wasn't reading them, so I didn't. I was like, I don't know. I'm not anything. And they're like, just pick one, just pick one. So I literally just started changing it every single time to mess with everyone.
It was years later that I realized that's what that was about because I remember the pirate versus ninja
Yeah.
thing.
Yep.
Your guys' thing. So I was like, ninjas are cooler than pirates, so I'm gonna be a ninja. But pirates are so much easier to dress as if I want to like dress up.
Yeah.
Like, or so much more fun to dress up as. So
Right.
it's like I didn't understand it was One Piece or Naruto.
Yeah.
I was just like I was thinking like Pirates of the Caribbean or just
Oh,
ninjas.
just ninja. Great. Yes, Pirates of the Caribbean was like at its peak popularity.
Yeah.
Back then as well, so that makes sense as well. And now you've played, Odyssey. What was it? Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is pirates.
Yeah.
And what's no?
Odyssey.
Isn't it pirates?
Odyssey is. I mean, you've got some pirate in it. Odyssey is just Greek, so it's.
Oh,
just
okay.
All the
I thought it was like
stuff.
the Mediterranean, and you get to sail the Mediterranean seas. or
It
something.
is.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, there is sailing. I would say more Black Flag is pirates for Assassin's Creed.
Oh, okay.
And I did not play that because I don't like playing ship games on video games.
So you're ninja still.
So I'm still ninja.
Excellent.
But Odyssey was my favorite Assassin's Creed game, which I actually want to play again because I read the Hecate Nikita Gill book, and I remember there's a DLC for Odyssey where you actually meet the gods because they're Isus, and Hecate is one of the first ones you meet. And I'm all like, she's hot.
She's hot. Okay. Okay. I know people probably don't care about this, but I have figured it out.
Yes.
It was me who requested it.
Oh, good.
Oh.
Because I was looking through our NetGalley, and I was just looking through, and I requested it 100% based on Hecate and the book cover. I did not even realize it was Nikita Gill book because I was just like, yeah, we're gonna read. Oh my god, Hecate! I hope it's sapphic. Let's read it. And
not
that's why I
sapphic.
request. Oh, dang it.
It's still good, but it's not sapphic.
Yeah. So I definitely requested it, and then I don't even remember when we got accepted for it, but
I don't know. I will say I think you would like it. The critique on it is the structure of it.
okay.
She writes it like she's writing poems, structurally. So it'll be like she'll write like 2 lines and then separate and then 2 lines and separate. Yeah. To me, it didn't make sense when she would, but it just reads like a story.
Okay. Because
So
I think when it comes out, maybe I'll request the audiobook for it, because I did that Clap When You Land is a novel in verse as well. And the audiobook, it was just very smooth and it just felt like a story to me. So I think I'll do it for that.
Yeah, that's all it is. Like, reading it, once I got over the fact that it wasn't actually, like, I mean, it is poetry, but it wasn't like poetry that I'm used to, especially reading from her. Once I got past that and I just read it as a story, it was good.
Yeah.
But it took me a second to be like, I want poems, and this is not poems.
Mystery solved.
Yeah.
Mystery solved. What was your rating on it? I'm curious.
I think it's a 4.
Okay, cool.
Mostly because I think the beginning was kind of slow, even though it wasn't bad. I think it was kind of slow because it's written in 3 parts. It's written like childhood, girlhood, womanhood.
Ooh, okay. Because Hecate is also the triple face goddess, isn't she? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it fits as well.
Exactly. And it has a lot of Nikita Gill's like, I'm gonna write something but tell a different story type thing on it. And I think she shows she's very knowledgeable of like Greek mythology and putting her own twist on it. And she's really good with the characters. But like I said, the way it was written kind of threw me off, and I think that'll bring it down for a lot of people.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So slow beginning, the way it's written brings it down, but the story itself is still really good.
Cool.
Well, guys, this is a totally off-topic thing. We should probably cut. I kept saying I didn't read any other NetGalleys. I didn't read any other NetGalleys. I did. That's how memorable it was. I just looked at my reads and I was like, oh, I did read another NetGalley. What happened in that?
What was it?
The Curious Kind of Magic.
You already talked about that one.
Is that what I talked about? I talked about House Saphir.
I thought you.
Oh, did I
thought
do
you
both?
gave. I thought
did
you gave
both,
us
maybe.
a snippet of A Curious Kind of
I
Magic.
don't remember.
Or maybe we talked about it just in person and you talked about. I don't remember.
I don't know, but I was like,
don't
oh
think-
boy, who knows? Cut
knows?
that.
Yeah, we'll cut that. I also have a graphic novel of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin, which is like the last surviving Ninja Turtle because all of his brothers died, and like his like life of basically wanting to die but still having to stop Shredder, or like Shredder Jr. or something. I loaned it to Ryan a year ago and he still hasn't read it. Ryan, I know you don't listen to our podcast, but you really should.
Ryan, when you listen to this podcast 10 years from now and you are like, oh crap, I still have
No,
this.
we just make this a snippet and put it on TikTok
There
because
we
he
go.
says he listens to our TikToks.
He does. He actually just liked our most recent TikTok.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ryan. But also, Ryan, you were on our episode. Come on.
Yeah. Listen to us.
Yeah, listen to us. I am going to actually do that.
There you
Watch
go.
yourself, Ryan. Haley messaged me last night. She was like, when we were playing Peak, we weren't playing Peak last night, but she was like, oh yeah, when Ryan made it to Peak, did he eat you guys? And I was like, no, I just made a joke for Discord. And she was like, no, let me start again. When Ryan made it to Peak, how many of you guys did he eat? And I was like, he ate everybody. And so she messaged him. Anyway, we should all play Peak. Hey, listeners, come play Peak with us. I'm obsessed.
Yeah, we got the thing where we can have more people in the lobby.
Yeah, we can have I played with my brother on Sunday, was it? And he's only watched videos and he did really well for not watching videos. He died in Alpine, but survived like the shore and then survived the jungle and then died in Alpine. But yeah, we actually like anyone who fell, we actually like would go down and heal them with a med kit. It was crazy.
Wow.
Like we did
You
it
guys
twice.
actually
I
worked
know.
as a team.
I know we actually worked as a team.
I honestly, whenever I fall really far, I'm just like, I'm giving up.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna come down to get me.
I'm
Oh.
all alone.
Well, then everyone just says, okay, bye.
Well, I tried to go get Jelani that one time, and then you guys were like, just leave him. Just leave him.
He totally heard you guys.
Yeah, because they can hear us as a ghost. You can definitely hear people.
He's like,
I
I
tried
just heard them.
to.
I'm like, guys, I just need food. I just need food. And then I just hear, just
Well-
leave them. And it was like, and I'm dead.
I didn't. It wouldn't have mattered because Ryan didn't leave us any food. Because that's
Right.
all I needed was food.
Right.
And there was none.
I was long dead at that point.
Anyways,
But one final thing.
yes.
When we were playing, I think it was Jungle or maybe it was Alpine when I died and he died. I was like a ghost, and I got to see his inventory. He was holding onto the frisbee, and like he kept going on like, oh yeah, I don't have room. And so seeing that he had held onto the frisbee and he could have had room, and we were like throwing away decent items because he didn't have room. None of us had room. Yeah. I was keeping like food and important things and like chain launchers and rope launchers.
At least he wasn't holding the golden big bog or whatever. That thing was heavy.
Yeah, but we had Alpine. We didn't have the Mesa, which is where golden bing bong is. But we did see the quokkas. Or not the quokkas, sorry, the capybaras. Huh. Yeah. Anyway, okay, back to the topic.
Back to what we were supposed to
I was just say ones that I read that aren't, continuations of stories and stuff. Saga. We talk about Saga a lot.
Yes.
Really good.
I have all of Saga. I am waiting for the next one to come out. I'm always waiting for the next one to come out. That one is very good. Very, like, it's good sci-fi. It has such a good storyline, amazing characters. Even characters you hate in the beginning, you like love them.
Yeah. It's, if anybody's watched Has Been Hotel, they have a character on there that's like a television face, and I always think Saga with it.
Yep.
But yeah, that one's really good. I know I'm behind on it. I know there's at least like one or two that are out that I haven't read.
Yeah.
But it's been so long since I've read it that I'm like, I need to figure out where I stopped.
You want to borrow all of them? They're very fast reads.
They are. And then the other one, I did the same thing, and I was reading it with Saga. So it was like Saga would come out, I'd read Saga, and then the next Wicked and Divine would come out, and I'd read that. But The Wicked and the Divine is a really good one because it's all about like gods every like X amount of years are reborn into these human bodies, and like they party for these years that they're allowed on Earth and everything like that. They do crazy stuff, and then they die off again. And it's all gods from all these different pantheons. So
cool.
Got like Greek gods, Viking gods, like just all the different ones that you could think of, and they'll just be a few of them, and they'll show up, and you try to learn like who's who and like what kind of powers do they have right now. And then there's like the whole mystery of like somebody's killing them off and stuff. So.
Okay. You should read Lore because that's kind of like the same premise.
Yeah.
Where the gods eventually, like when the last people stop believing in them, they become mortal and someone's killing them off. And so Athena, like requests the help of this. I don't remember if she was like a demigod or if she was just someone who knew about the gods. And she's like, I need you to protect me. And I was like, oh, so cool. That's Alexandra Bracken. Yeah. I want to read that one. That one sounds fun. Is it still ongoing as well?
I don't know because I did the same thing with Saga where
paused.
It's like I waited and I forgot to go back to it. And so I don't know how far it's gotten.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I'll have to look it up.
One we all love because we got in an owl crate was Nimona.
Yeah, Nimona's good.
I still haven't seen the movie.
Oh, movie's great.
I want to see the movie.
Movie is way different than the book though.
Yeah, I imagine.
And I think the thing that I like about the movie and the book, so N.D. Stevenson, who does both of them, I can tell they are in different places in their like mentality and their own mental health and like their own identity in both of them.
Cool.
So it's like you have Nimona, the comic book, where I think they're in one certain spot and they want to tell this story and have fun with this story. And then they do the movie and I'm like, oh, I can see a whole different like journey you went through in the movie, but still have like strong points going on.
Okay, I'll watch that tomorrow.
You should.
I think
you need to message me when you watch it because I think you'll love it.
I'll try.
Yeah.
If I remember, I'm also my jobs are real busy right now, but I should have Friday off. I shouldn't have anything on Friday, so I think maybe if I don't watch it tomorrow night, I'll watch it by Friday. Sure.
I might rewatch it.
Just let me know. I'll be like, okay, and play.
Do a group watch.
Yeah.
Don't mind me.
Hello.
What are you listening to over there, Jenna?
Jenna's not doing her homework.
I'm doing my homework, actually. Just doing way ahead of my homework.
Doing my homework for next episode.
No. I was looking for a quote, and there was a word, and I was like...
Didn't know how to say it.
I'm going to figure out how to say this before I mess it up.
That's smart.
I had a quote, and you can choose to use it or not. You can choose something else if you want to.
It depends. Whichever one you can pronounce.
Mine's easy. You can pronounce everything.
I can pronounce the name on this person, and I just heard it.
Yeah, you could definitely pronounce the name on mine. Name is Mike Daniels.
Mine's John Ridley.
But the problem is it Daniels? Daniels? He comes in and he's like, excuse me.
Actually, it's Mickey.
Like Nikkei?
It's Mikey.
Another graphic novel I also really, really, really love, and it's still ongoing. I think the last one should be coming out either later this year or next year, is The Adventure Zone. So that one is based off of the podcast that I was obsessed with back in like 2018 to 2019, 2017 to 2018. And so they made a graphic novel of their balance arc, and it's been really fun to see this story that I absolutely love come to life, like visually. So yeah, that's by the Mabim brothers.
Yeah. I always get that and Not Another D&D podcast.
Oh yeah,
confused.
There's so many D&D podcasts now. I mean, back in that day, I think it was only Critical Role and The Adventure Zone were like the big ones.
Yeah.
And now I think there's a lot, and I think that's pretty awesome because they all have such different stories and different characters.
I'm not gonna lie, it's funny. I was thinking about it today, and I was thinking because the book that I'm reading is written by two sisters, and I was trying to guess how they wrote it. I was like, did they like take turns? Like, I'll write a chapter, and then you write a chapter, and then
is it dual point of views?
Dude, it was dual point of views. Now it's getting crazy. There's like so many points of view. It's ridiculous. But
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, now it's Game of Thrones, and I'm like, wait a minute, why do I have to learn? Who is this person? What's his name? But I was thinking about it, and I was like, do they write a chapter and then hand it to the next person, be like, read my chapter, and then write the next one so that like they know what they're doing? Anyway, I was thinking about all this stuff, and I just got to a point where like the characters all got split up in a fight, and I was like, this would be fun because we're just like, okay, write fight scenes, and here's your two characters, here's my two characters, here's the other two, and like we just write whatever we want, right? And I was like, or you could just have a D&D game and be like, let me split up all my characters and see what each of you guys do. And I was like, maybe that's how I'm going to write fight scenes from now on. I'm going to have my friends act out D&D games.
There are people that will like write stories and they'll roll to see what happens in the story. And I definitely like my character in our campaign, Sidian. When I created the character before I created it for the campaign, I created a whole different story for this and kind of just made the character and then decided like I'm gonna write a book on this and never actually did it. And it would have been way different than what it ended up being. As
story of our life. I'm gonna write a book on this. Never does it.
But like I thought about that when we started the campaign. I had this like really cool journal I was gonna do where I was gonna like write Sidian's journey in the journal, and then the campaign kept going different directions. We were having such long pauses in between that I stopped doing that. I did the same thing with my other D&D campaign where I was doing like the adventures of Rain Amari or whatever, because that's my character's name, and it was supposed to be like me writing the novel of my like the autobiography of my life of all the stuff that we're going through.
That's so fun.
Yeah. Last one I was gonna mention was, other than my webtoons, which I could go into, but I've already talked about those before. I think a comic book that they did a good job, just the first one, but creating on screen, was The Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because I remember I watched The Walking Dead, and I was watching it with my dad. We had, like, family, like, show nights where, like, every Sunday we got together and watched The Walking Dead. And so for Christmas one year, he gave me the, like, first big volume of it, and I remember reading it. I'm like, this is just the show.
Yeah.
It was, for the very first part, like, the first season, is just the, like, comic book.
Yeah.
And then after that's when it starts going off and doing its own thing.
Just the first volume? Is that another one where the seasons caught up and they just kept going, or was
Probably.
Okay.
But I do know there's like more characters, and like different characters had different reactions to each other and stuff like that as it kept going. And I think personally because like actors would have better chemistry, or they would like, they liked how this character was, like, I don't think Daryl was a big character at all in the comic books.
Oh. But he's the best.
He became so popular. So like in the show, he became one of the big ones. But I think in the comic book, he wasn't.
I remember someone telling me at one point, well, the only one we know for sure is not going to die is Carl. Because, like, in the comic books, it's all Carl. Like, Carl's the main character.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't know
Or something
that.
like that. So they're like, yeah, we know Carl's the only one that's not going to die for sure. And Carl. I mean, spoiler.
Spoiler.
Depending. Look, at this point, if you don't know, it's been seasons and seasons now.
I think that's about where I stopped.
That is
watching
where
it,
I stopped
honestly.
too. And I'm shocked it's still going.
Yep.
Now they have spin-offs.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. What's his name even got his own spinoff? The one you just talked about.
Daryl. Yeah.
Daryl, yeah.
Daryl and Carol.
Daryl and Carol.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did they get together?
No, I don't
Okay, that's what I thought.
They just had like a good dynamic.
Right, that's what I
know
remember.
Carol and Michonne were my two favorites.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Michonne was really cool.
Yeah. She had the best intro to it.
Yeah, she did.
Coming with two zombies like chained as like your guard dogs.
That lives rent free in my head. Like that, I genuinely think that and Death in Supernatural are one of the best character intros ever in all of TV.
I did not watch Supernatural, so
Oh, you can just like go on YouTube and just type in Supernatural Death, and it's like, oh, it's so cool. It is so cool. Anyway, but and Lucifer from Constantine, the movie.
Oh yeah.
I think that is also a great.
You said that. I was just thinking Lucifer, the show.
Right.
The show, yeah. Lucifer and Constantine has a good entrance as well.
Oh, one of my favorite things is the DC universe, like the CW DC universe. They had a big thing of like the multiverse on that, and they went into different like DC TV shows.
Yeah.
And technically, Lucifer is a DC comic.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they actually went in and talked to Lucifer,
Yeah.
and I was like, that blew my mind. that
And they went into
that far.
Smallville, right?
Yeah, they went to
Smallville.
Smallville.
Oh,
and talked
Smallville was
to-
CW.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they went to like all these different ones. That was a good one. They crossed over with all that.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I just watched the YouTube cuts of all of it because I was like, wait, why are they talking to Lucifer? And
I'm
like,
pretty
"Oh,
sure
right,
it was
he's
Flash,
DC."
right?
Yeah.
Okay, because I think I saw Michael Keaton was Batman in that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Or at least because I saw a clip where it was like, yeah, Michael Keaton's reprising his role as Batman, and Michael Keaton's like my all-time favorite actor.
Look, it's,
The other thing I saw was he plays the Atom in the CW one, but earlier, like before the CW ones, he played Superman. So like the same actor did. So they went and visited him as Superman.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, they
This-
did really good. Honestly, like that. I like DC and Marvel things where they do multiverse
Yes.
situations and they just like pop in like the newest Spider-Man and
Yeah.
the Miles Morales Spider-Man, and I'm like, it has all the different connections to each other, and I'm like, oh, perfection. I love
Yes.
it. I love it so much.
Yeah. That's why I like the Avengers when that was coming
Yeah.
out, because you had all of these movies that were building up to this, and now here they are all together.
Yeah.
And even Thunderbolts, which you're just kind of like, okay, what's the point in watching all of these shows now that Infinity Wars and Endgame is done?
Yeah.
And then you're watching it, and I'm like, this is it.
This is why.
Thunderbolts is the reason.
Yeah.
Because it was so good.
Yeah.
Although now they're going to reboot the MCU.
Oh, right, they are, because what's his name? Robert Downey Jr. is coming back as a bad guy. Interesting. Anyway, well, I mean, that can technically happen because it can technically happen in like the storyline as well.
Well, they do it for everything, and that's why it's really hard to like be like, oh, I want to read the X-Men comics. Okay, well, which X-Men
Right.
comics? Because there are so many different stories and so many different versions of it
Yeah.
that
That's
it's like
the
you're not
issue
just
I
going
run
to read
into
X-Men.
with Spider-Man because I'm
Right.
like, it'd be great to be super knowledgeable about this for my son.
You
All
can't.
right.
You can't.
It'd
There's
be
so
like-
much.
It'd be like watching Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, just the first movie, and then the second movie of the Amazing Spider-Man right
And then the
after
third
that,
one.
and then the third one of Tom Holland. It'd be like,
Yeah.
none of this makes sense.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. Early on, it's like, I was probably what, 9 when Tobey Maguire's movie came out, something like that.
No, we
young.
were. I think it was 13.
2008, I think.
No,
it was
no.
way before that.
Tobey Maguire, not Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield was like 2013, 2014.
2003. Then it was 2002. I don't remember.
I know we were still in touch with Toby.
Because
That's how I
he was in
know.
it.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
2002.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were 8th graders.
So,
That was
so-
his big claim to fame.
yeah. So, I mean, for me, I remember reading that, and it was like before I had really delved into my nerdiness. And then they started coming out with the Andrew Garfield ones, and I was like, who the hell's Gwen Stacy? And it was like, wait a minute, I don't want to watch a stupid Spider-Man where he doesn't even have Mary Jane. Like, what?
Gwen Stacy is in Tobey Maguire, the second one.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's just like
She's
one of those.
one
yeah,
off though.
yeah, you wouldn't have known who she was or why. But then you like go back and it's like now I know way more. Now Gwen Stacy's like one of my favorites because Ghost Spider and Spider Woman. And
That's my favorite thing is especially because they bring it up in the like the multiverse Tom Holland one, but like when you watch the Tobey Maguire one as your fundamental Spider-Man knowledge, and you're all like, oh yeah, he shoots webs from his arms
exactly.
and everything like that, and everybody's like, no, that's stupid. That's not how he does it.
Yeah.
He makes his own webs. Like big powers his sense and like being able to climb things.
And that's like a big point is that if he runs out of his web fluid,
Yeah.
that's like a huge point.
But like my fundamental knowledge is like, this is stupid. He has to make his own webs.
Right, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I loved in the Tom Holland one where they're like, ew, ew, why do you do that? Like, it's just like,
does
so
it come
gross.
out of anywhere else?
Yeah.
And he's like, no.
But yeah,
Oh, so good.
it's like, it's funny because when you know just a very little bit about it, you're like, wait a minute, now I want to know more. And it's like, how am I ever going to know all of that there is to know? Because it's so convoluted now.
Oh yeah. And but that's the fun part too, though, is that like because they made the multiverse, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Like if that's the one that you know, yeah, that is true. That is canon in something.
Yeah.
But there might be a
it makes
different
it more fun because it's like it feels like you can still like learn so much more, and you could like really become an expert on the one that you know.
Yeah.
But
I also like that. I feel like they make so many comics. There's something for everybody now.
yeah,
So you can really find something where you're just like, I want this like specific idea. And it's like, oh no, we got it.
Yeah.
Here you go. Fun fact, Magic the Gathering is going to do a Spider-Man set now.
really.
Yeah.
The comic place that I went to was pretty cool. It had all these magic things. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Megan and Ryan and them have been getting into magic.
Right. Back into it.
did you guys see that actually clip, that game show actually, where they like talk about how Superman, like in this comic book issue number, Superman runs into pink kryptonite, which makes him turn gay. Somebody's like, actually that's really offensive. And they're like, no, it really is when you read it.
Oh, jeez.
And
It's not wrong.
it came out like in the late 90s or something like that. Somebody was like, Will and Grace was on the air. But that's one of those, like, in this universe, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can ignore it and go to a different one.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, pink kryptonite, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Stay away from that pink kryptonite. It's gonna make you offensively gay.
Well, it was all like he was judging, like, drapes and was, like, really interested in Jimmy Olsen and didn't care about Lois Lane.
That's so funny.
Wait, we all went and saw the Spider-Man or the Superman movie together,
did.
right? You did not, right?
Yeah. I didn't have a babysitter, I think. Or maybe no, I had COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I just know there's a dog that looks like my dad's dog.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it does.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Krypton. Yeah.
Which is great because Dad is Superman to us, so
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
that it's because he can't die.
Oh,
He's
okay.
been in
Cute.
he's been in a lot of situations where we're like, you should have been dead or like crippled or something, and he was like, I walked away with 2 black eyes.
Jeez. I think we need to get him on and just be like, tell us your story.
Tell us your story. I worked for my grandmother at one point, and she did insurance, and I had to do a presentation about workers' comp insurance, so I just used my dad as a story, and I just had like pictures of him in like casts, like, and I'm like, this is my dad. If you have a worker like my dad,
Yeah.
He was crushed in half by a trailer,
yeah.
was life flighted, and he was fine.
They were like, if you had been under there 30 more seconds, the blood would have rushed out of your eyes, and it would have exploded, and you would have died. And he was fine.
He was fine. All he had was like, the doctor's like, can I get you to stand up? Could you like move your feet, move your hands, everything? You're not dizzy? Vision's fine? He's like, yeah. I can't believe I'm saying this, but you're good to go.
He's a medical marvel.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry. We've
Side
we
note.
can
I don't
wrap
know.
this up.
It's still
Yeah.
kind of on topic-ish. He's
Yeah.
Superman.
Now him and Elias have debates.
yeah.
Who's better, Spider-Man or Superman? Spider-Man's better. No, Superman's better. No, Spider-Man's better.
That's cute.
I love it.
All right. Shall we wrap things up?
Yeah. Any last minute things you guys wanted to say at all?
I kind of want to like get back into manga again,
Yeah.
but I don't want to buy manga.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my thing. It's like I'm really
Kindle.
interested. I want to read more, but I don't want to go through the process of having to buy them.
Yeah,
And
Kindle.
also
My
read.
library probably has a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kindle. And then I always recommend webtoons. Webtoons are good.
Oh yeah, webtoons.
I've
I
got
do want to
3
read
that
the
I'm reading
webtoons.
right now.
I do. I want to read Laura Olympus because I never finished that one.
I want to read Laura Olympus. I want to read her Sunset Phoenix.
Sunset Phoenix.
Yeah.
Wrath in the Dawn is
Wrath
on
of the
Webtoon.
Dawn. Yeah.
I finished
Nevermore.
Wrath of the Dawn,
I think
by the
you'd
way.
Like Nevermore.
I want to read the Raven Boys.
I don't know if that's on Webtoon, but
No, but isn't you just come out with that?
yeah, I have it on hold at Barnes & Noble. It should be coming tomorrow. I wanted the hardback, so I asked them to order it for me.
Yeah, I think that would be fun. I like graphic novels. I just and I think that it'd be fun, something that I could read with my son around, and he'd be more interested than just words on the page right now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it is a big commitment because you have to buy things.
Right.
It's not.
Get him into X-Men. That's TT's favorite.
Yeah,
X-Men's so good.
X-Men's great.
you got to get him into X-Men, Marissa.
I've got some. I don't want him to touch some of my X-Men. I've got the Astonishing X-Men right now, and I don't want him to touch that.
Just put
But I'll
on
go-
the X-Men show from X-Men
I
97 or
tried.
whatever.
Yeah,
I tried. He wasn't
Oh.
that interested.
Dang
he
it,
was. I mean, he kinda, but
Elias.
it wasn't like he was sucked.
he's
but-
starting to get into them, but he's hit or miss with the older shows. Because
That one's a new show based on the old show.
It's created to look like the old show. So.
Right. it's the animation. The animation style, like kids nowadays have that kind of like 3D animation.
Oh, he
rather
wants
than
that.
2D
He wants, like,
animation.
The
He
K-pop
can't-
Demon
You
Hunters.
can't be talking about that. He's watching Dragon
I was gonna
Tales.
say the weird thing though is that when Jelani put on Dragon Tales, I thought for sure he wasn't gonna be interested in it, and he is more like I told Jelani, I was like, I don't like that show because he zones right into it the way that other kids zone into TV whenever they get it.
Yeah, that's
And I'm like,
the good and bad thing about Elias is he does not get zoned into TV that often.
yeah,
Like there'll be a few things that do pull him in, like K-pop Demon Hunters. He'll go do the full intro song. I have a video of that now.
It was so
it's
cute.
the best.
It was
I-
so cute.
Did I send you guys the full one?
No, you just when he was
Oh
on
my
your lap.
gosh.
Oh yeah, no, I have a full one of him being over here, and he does the entire thing.
The entire song.
And it's great because like he like grabs the corner, like the armrest of my couch, and like kicks his foot out because he wants to do the Ruby kick.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But like that's one of the few things he gets sucked into. Everything else is just background noise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's yeah, I think I'll get into it probably if only for my husband and my son because they both like it again.
Yeah.
I'm interested. Guys. Anyway, let's wrap up and talk about what we're reading right now. Marissa, what are you reading?
I just started our Fellowship of the Traveling Books for Jenna's book, which is Don't Let the Forest In by what is it, C.G. Drews?
Yeah.
Yes.
By C.G. Drews. And like I'm like 3 chapters into it. I'm not that far. So far, it's pretty good. I like getting Megan and Ryan's notes on it. It's fun because this is the first one I get Ryan's notes now.
Yeah.
So I get to see what he's writing.
Nice.
Yeah. You've already sent me some theories or a theory.
Yeah, I sent you a theory, and it's less of a theory and more of just like a wishful thinking type thing.
Yeah.
I want this character to be gay. I already know this character's gay for sure.
Yeah.
But I want this character to be gay.
Yeah.
Look, I need more gay. All the gay.
Yeah. I'm very interested. Keep your comments coming or your messages coming.
Yes.
I obviously will not spoil anything for you, but
Obviously.
I will emoji back at you.
She did. She just sent me like the big like
the monocle.
yeah monocle.
The like, yeah. I am reading I'm reading The Viscount Who Loved Me, which I still want to say The Viscount Who Loved Me because that's how it's written. We're doing that for the Always Fully Booked book club. And that one is like the prompt is a book that came out 25 years ago. And so in the year 2000. I did not realize it came out in the year 2000.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Although I didn't know they were old books. I did.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I did know they were. When you look at the original covers, which I have some of them with the original covers,
Yeah.
they're old.
Yeah, the cover that I have on my Kindle is, I would say, uniquely old.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Yes.
But I'm really liking it. The previous month's book that we had, I didn't really care for, so this one is just kind of fluffy and easy.
They're very fluffy. They're very easy reads, very low stakes.
I loved
them. They're not.
Yeah.
The show is very.
Yes.
It takes a lot of liberties.
I decided to just put on the show and be like, I'll just watch up until the part that I'm at the book, and they changed so much.
Oh yeah.
And the book is obviously just about Kate and Anthony.
Yeah.
But the show goes into like all the side stories that they're building for future seasons and past seasons and all that jazz.
Sorry, is this Bridgerton?
Bridgerton,
yes.
yes.
I was
following for a minute.
This is, and I was too distracted because you said you wanted to say Viscount, and it made me think of the one note in there where like Ryan's like, "How do you pronounce this word?" And you're like, "Foyer."
Foyer. Yeah. And then he does it like 3 more times. Yeah, he's like, I don't know how to pronounce this word. And I'm like, Ryan.
When you read, you don't pronounce
Exactly.
it. You just go through it.
Exactly. Even at Silent Book Club last week, I was like, this author or the narrator pronounced this word this way. I don't even remember what the word was. But it was a word that I was just like, wait, I pronounce it a different way. Sonorous. She said sonorous.
Yep.
And I always pronounce it in my head sonorous.
Oh.
And she said sonorous, and I was just like, oh. And then I asked someone, and she was just like, no, it's sonorous. Anyway, so I'm enjoying that. I'm also doing the audiobook of is it the Emperor's Tomb? What is it?
Of
The
Annihilation?
Tyrant's, no. The Tyrant's Tomb. And that's the 4th book in the Trials of Apollo by Rick Riordan. I am loving the Trials of Apollo series so much. I stopped reading them back when they first came out because I was like, Percy Jackson's not in this. I don't care.
Yeah.
And then now I'm just loving them. But yeah, so that's what I'm reading. What about you, Jenna? I bet you're reading Zodiac Academy, book 8. No, I'm going to say book 9. I'm going to say you're on book 9. What?
The pause. What about you, Jenna? 3 seconds of silence.
I am reading the Zodiac Academy. It is book 9. It's
Nice.
Restless Stars. 9/10, kind of. So, they have like half books and stuff, and I kind of skipped the half book because I knew that I wanted to get in and I had stuff that I have homework. I have homework to do.
Yeah, you do.
So
You got to
2
get on that
books.
before it's all out of my brain and I have absolutely nothing to talk about.
I figure that the half books and the things that like aren't super important to the story that other people are just like, wow, these authors are really milking this series, aren't they? I wasn't gonna
Feels like they are.
I wasn't gonna do those ones, and I could always go back and read them if I wanted the more in-depth thing later when I don't have homework. And I just want to go back to the universe. But I did read like a chapter or 2 from the in-between one because I heard that they were hysterical and kind of important, so I went and read those ones, and they were hysterical and important. And then I make Courtney get long-winded explanations about what's happening that she has no idea because I have to tell her. But yeah, I just want to know how these books end, and I think this book is it pretty much sums it up. Everything after that is unimportant. So once I'm done with this book, I can actually move into my
Nice.
I think. I say now.
Jenna?
You've got 2 books you need to finish this month.
I know, guys. I understand. I will get there. I think. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
All right.
It's unfortunate. These books are very, very different from both of the books that I have to read. It's
You better
even
not
like
have
a
book hangover. Yeah.
I just sit there and I'm like, I can't read these books.
The good news, Megan, is you do have your voice recording that you sent me of your opinions on the.
Yes, I could
Yeah.
just listen to that myself.
You can listen
as well.
to that to kind of refresh your memory.
There
That's
you
a
go.
good idea. And then I have your voice note to also refresh from what you thought. I could be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's smart.
And then we'll just play those voice recordings.
So we'll just sit
pausing
back.
randomly while Jenna talks in between the
We'll hit pause when you're just like, okay, guys, I have thoughts.
You're like, wait a minute. I think that's at minute 3:32. All right here.
Although I will say my voice recording, a lot of it was, I need to talk about this in person.
Yes, there was we just need to hang out and talk about it in person. So yeah.
All right. Well, I will get to my homework, I promise. All right, guys, look us up anywhere. Braless Book Guild podcast. If you can't find us, you aren't looking hard enough. No, we're just about everywhere. And follow us and like and tell people about us so that we can keep doing this.
We're on YouTube and YouTube Music now.
Yeah, we're on YouTube and YouTube Music. And yeah, listen in. Oh, I have a quote, guys. Let me end this on a quote.
Yeah, Jenna used her quote.
You didn't send me yours.
I'm gonna tell you mine's better even if it's not.
There are still some people out there who believe comic books are nothing more than, well, comic books. But the true cognoscenti know graphic novels are, at their best, an amazing blend of art, literature, and the theater of the mind. And that's by John Ridley. What word do you think I couldn't pronounce?
I was going to say, gee, I wonder what word you looked up on that.
Cognoscenti. Isn't that a fun word? I like it. I want to use it all the time now.
What does it mean?
It means people who are considered to be especially well-informed about a particular subject.
Oh, cool.
So, look out for me saying cognoscenti any chance I get. Or forgetting this word completely.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to forget it.
Like me with defenestrate.
Yes.
Chapter 1 of every book, there's going to be some kind of defenestrate in there.
And cognoscenti.
Yep.
Mine is going to be sonorous.
Oh, yes.
That'll be my word.
Which you'll change the pronunciation every time.
Make sure the audio, like, I'll bust into the audiobook room and be like, no. This time you say sonorous. Next time you say sonorous.
Inflection on something different every time.
Every time.
All right. Well, thank you for listening, guys. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.